Hi guys, so I'm making this video for someone who is probably have been dimming their light for others and who's feeling lost and just needs a little encouragement to keep going in their journey. So life will put you in the same situations over and over again until you finally realize what lesson you need to learn from that. And there's probably underlining fears that you need to face that you've been avoiding. And until you face those fears and become the person you need to become to be able to face those fears, then those situations will show up over and over again. For example, for me, I had a fear of being seen. I had a fear of being successful, and that reflected in my reality and in my behavior and my thoughts and the way I acted, the way I talked. So, of course, my reality, my experiences, the past years that I held on to those beliefs, of course, my reality reflected all the experiences that kept me small and that kept me hidden and that kept me just like in that old version of myself. And deep down inside, I always felt frustrated and I always felt lost because I knew that I was meant for more. I knew that I wanted more for myself, and I have this potential that I could become, but I was too afraid to step into that power. And finally, I was finally able to break through those limitations, and it wasn't until I had a realization, because I was like, why am I going through the same thing again? Why am I going through the same situation that I've been going through the past 3, 4, 5 years? And last night I was just having one of those nights, and I reached under my desk and pulled out my old diary, old journal from 2 years ago in 2024. And I started reading it, and tell me why it was the same exact person that I was embodying this year. So nothing has changed, and it was frustrating. It was disappointing that nothing has changed in 2 years. Internally in my mind, I haven't changed. So that was an awakening for me. That was something I really needed to see, because no one was going to change. No one was going to save me. No one was going to save me and change my life for me. I had to do it. I had to do the hard thing, which was face my fears and take control of my life. And I guess I haven't been doing that. I haven't been doing that for a long time. I gave my power away to everyone who wanted it, to anyone, anything. And, it's just, I always felt lost and frustrated. And that's because I didn't hold the power over my life. And I finally was able to break out of it. And I realized all of these situations were meant to unfold for me, so I could finally see my power. I could finally see that, hey, in order for me to break through all of this and experience something different, experience the life that I actually want, I have to embody and become that person who can face their fears, who can be okay being seen, who can receive wealth and success. And, you know, finally, I'm able to face these fears and slowly become that person that I needed to become. So, for those who feel stuck and lost, we just have to look around and look within, actually, not look around, but look within you and look at the situations that you've been experiencing over and over again. There are lessons that you need to learn within them, and it might be something that you've been avoiding. So you have to become the person you need to become to face those things that you've been avoiding, if that makes sense. And trust that, you know, once you change your beliefs, when you change your thoughts and the way you act, how you feel and how you show up every day, then your reality has no way, like, it has no other choice but to show up differently. It has no other choice but to create a reality that is different from the reality that you've been experiencing for years. And that's what I've realized, and hopefully you can go through the same breakthrough that I went through recently, because honestly, it took a long time. It took a long time for me, but as frustrating as it is, I'm thankful that I'm not gonna waste another minute, another hour embodying my old version of myself, because I decide and I control my life. I have control over my life. I have the voice. I have the power to change my life, not anyone else. And yeah, hopefully you can go through the same realizations I did, so you can break through the limitations that once held you back.